How you guys doing? Having a good night? Hope so. I am. We're canning carrots. So we are doing quart jars of carrots. You can do pints or quarts. And we're using a bunch of carrots that I grew from the garden. I've got, I don't even know, 80 pounds or something. So I got to start making my way through and canning these. So we're just doing a basic canned carrot, super easy to do. I've already done a whole bunch of work off camera just because you don't need to see me peeling carrots and cutting carrots, but I'll show you what we're working with here. All right. Already cut them up. I have two big ass bowls right behind me on the counter. The recipe says between 16 and 18 pounds of carrots will do 7 quart jars. Now, that really probably depends on how much you cut off of the carrots, how thick you peel them, or maybe that's pre-processed. She didn't exactly say in the recipe. So that's the guidelines I'm working with. So I filled up a massive bowl of carrots. I washed them. I peeled 2 huge bowls of carrots, and I'm just going to start filling jars. And if I don't have enough carrots, my cutting board's over there, my carrot peeler's over there, sink is right behind you guys. So if I don't have enough, because to slow down, we are doing a cold pack method. Just to clarify that, we're not hot packing. If I was hot packing carrots, this would be a lot more complicated because if I ran out, I'd have to steam more while I've processed some in jars. It just gets silly. So we're cold packing carrots. So literally I have uncooked carrots sitting in ice water, staying nice and fresh. All we're doing is we're going to take those carrots, throw them into quart jars. On the stove right behind me here, I've got a big pot of water boiling. Well, it's coming up to a boil. And all we're going to do is we're going to add salt to some of the jars and no salt to other jars. And I'm going to mark the lids. I've never done these before. And this way I will know whether I prefer salted or unsalted when I'm feeding them to the family. So it's just, I'm literally just going to Sharpie marker right on the lid and of the salted ones, and they'll just go into the canner. Also, you have to pressure can carrots because the pH is so low, you got to pressure can them. So on the stove over here, I have my canner warming up. It's not going to get to a boil. I don't want it boiling before I put the carrots in there because I don't want thermal shock and have quart jars of carrots exploding in my pressure canner because that's just bad news bears. So realistically, the process is super simple. Put salt in some jars, no salt in others. Top up jars with cut carrots, top with boiling water, put lids on, put in pressure canner. You can do this with pints or quarts. Pints are 25 minutes, quarts are 30 minutes. Super simple. I'll walk you through the process. So let's start having some fun. I started to do this last night. I literally ran out. Like I said, pressure canner with 3 quarts of water warming up. I don't want it boiling. In this pot here, sorry, I just kicked the tripod. In here, I'm starting to boil just regular water. 1 big bowl of carrots, another bowl of carrots, 7 quart jars that I just took out of a box and they're washed and cleaned. All my lids and rings. You're going to need a canning funnel, and you're going to need tongs to put the jars into the canner, and you're also going to need your debubbler. So I'm going to get those as I start filling jars. And I am using pink Himalayan rock salt. It might make the jars a little bit cloudy, but I'm not really worried about that because it's got all sorts of healthy minerals and stuff in it. So, but you can't use iodized table salt. Don't do that. Use pickling salt or a high quality salt. All right, let's get this going. So I think canning carrots is probably the easiest darn thing that you can can. You have your jars. Just start taking your carrots, fill your jars up, we are looking for 1 inch of headspace. And for you guys that are new to canning, when you buy your little canning kit, you know, everybody seems to buy one of these little canning kits. It's hard to read, okay? It's hard to read, but on here, there we go, okay. On here are measurements. So all you do is you just put that into your jar on whatever little step measure that you need, and it'll tell you what your headspace is. So we want, can't even read this myself. It's so well used, I can barely read it. All right. So right here, that's the 1 inch. So all you do is you just hook that on the side of your jar like that, and that'll give you your 1 inch headspace when everything touches the very bottom. So just like that, see? Boom. Let's fill these jars. It's always the prep work that takes all the time. If you had a mandolin, you could probably make these pretty quick too with a mandolin. I generally don't use appliances like that, but I could see how if you're not overly comfortable with a knife and you have to process 17 pounds of carrots, I could see how a mandolin would certainly come in handy. Wow, I think I'm gonna have to shake and settle these carrots down because I'm filling up from the smallest bowl and it's pretty much empty, and I still have a massive bowl of carrots left. This is... Maybe I'm gonna be canning carrots tomorrow night. All right, let's pour this out. Okay, so like I said, that was the little bowl, and we still have the big bowl. So maybe what we can do, shake them down. Oh yeah, just shake them down. That's what we'll do. All right, I'm gonna fill up the rest of these, and we'll see where we turn out. And I'm probably canning more carrots tomorrow night by the looks of things. Okay, so for those of you guys who have been watching my channel for a while, you know I always show you the good and the bad and the stupid and my screw-ups and, you know, all the rest of that stuff. So it's real life when you watch my channel. I don't edit out all the stupid bits. I don't re-film segment after segment till I get it right. I generally throw the camera on and start talking. So, speaking of that, this is why I'm saying that. So the recipe called for 17 pounds of carrots, 16 to 18 pounds. We have 7 quarts filled, and I've shaken them down, so I'm not getting any more in there. Okay, I already emptied 1 bowl, and I have all this left. This is a big bowl. Okay, like look, that's a 4-cup measuring cup, just so you know the size. So I drastically overcompensated and cut way too many carrots. So the good news is all I need is another top that bowl up, and I can do another batch tomorrow. So that's what we're gonna do. I'll drain that water after. I'll put some fresh water in there after, and store them in the fridge till tomorrow, and we'll can those tomorrow, which makes my life easier. So now we need salt and my measuring cup or measuring spoon, and it's 1 teaspoon per quart. So we'll get our super duper fancy measuring spoons here. Gonna get our teaspoon, and I'm gonna do 3 salted, 1, 2, 3 salted, and 4 unsalted. Okay. Don't need salt anymore. Good. See, it's not complicated. It doesn't get any easier than this, does it, guys? I really hope you guys are doing this, because you can go to the farmer's market like this weekend and buy carrots from the farmer's market if you're not growing any. And look how easy this is, right? So now, I'm gonna put the measuring cup, measuring that over there. I'm just moving the pot closer. I'm just moving the pot closer to my workspace. Yeah, dog, I hear you. Yeah, hi. Don't hit my tripod. Nope. Thor decided he wanted to try and be an internet superstar. All right, so now we're going to take our 4-cup Pyrex measuring cup, and we're going to fill all these up to 1-inch headspace. So generally what I do when I'm doing this is I top them up close to the top, and I'll do all the jars, and then I'll get out my measuring tool, and then I just measure at the end. And I'm pouring it a little bit slowly so I don't shock the glass. I don't want to thermal shock the glass with the hot water. Right? See? Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Get that out of the way. Now we just take our measuring guide. Get some water in your measuring cup here. Hold it onto your 1-inch. And just pour the water in till it hits the bottom of your tool here, and that's all there is to that. Now, you take your tool, run it around inside your jar, and you're trying to get the bubbles out. That's the point here. If you can even get it in the jar. Well, see, some of the bubbles are coming to the surface. We don't want bubbles hiding down in there. And then try to get all your carrots back under the water again. Now we're just going to put lids on these, and they're going in the pressure can. I've got all the rings on the rest of them. Now when you're putting these on, you want them finger tight. So put your ring on, and then when you turn it, when your fingers start twisting on the lid, that's about as tight as you want it. You want the air inside of these jars to be able to push out through this gap that's going to create when there's pressure inside the canner. All right, so still all zoomed in. See, real life, guys, real life. Welcome to my kitchen. So 1, 2, 3, those have salt. And now we're just going to load them into the canner. I've got a 23 quart Presto canner, and it'll hold 7 quarts. So I'm just going to load them up. So we've got the 7 in there. I just turned the heat on the stove to start heating this up. I'm going to lock the lid down, and then I'm going to wait for it to vent steam in a solid stream for 10 minutes. Okay guys, can you see that steam coming out of there? It's hard to see, but that's what you're looking for. A big blast of steam, solid, and you want that to go for 10 minutes. So now that we've hit the 10-minute mark, throw your weight on, okay? So if you're at 1,000 feet and below, you want 10 pounds. So I actually contacted Presto, and they actually sent me this little jiggler. So I'm going to turn the heat down to a little below 8, because that's what works on my stove. Your stove might be a little bit different. And now what I'm going to do is we're watching this gauge, and when this gauge hits 10, that's 10 pounds of pressure, okay? This little jiggler is going to start going. And once it hits 10 pounds, usually hovers between 10 and 11 pounds. We are going to time this for 30 minutes. And when 30 minutes is up, all we have to do is turn the heat off on the stove, let this naturally depressurize. Don't open this. Do not, whatever you do not take that off. Okay? Trust me. So when we get to 10 pounds, we're going to start the timer for 30 minutes. See, it's already going up. See, you're climbing? Doesn't take long. That's why as soon as you start you've hit your 10-minute mark and you put your jiggler on, turn your heat down. Okay? There we go. Jiggler's going. We hit 10 pounds. I turn the oven down or the element down just a smidge. We're just below 8. Now, if this drops below 10 pounds, you have to start your timer all over again. So just keep that in mind when you're adjusting your temperature on your stove. Don't turn it down too low so it drops back below 10, because you literally have to start the whole 30-minute countdown all over again. So the 30-minute timer went off. So just shut the heat off. Now we're going to just naturally depressurize this. Don't take that. Sorry about that. Don't take that off. Just let this naturally cool down. Just let it just chill out. It'll cool down. And you can't open it anyways because that's locked. That's a pressure valve right there. So there's a little valve where the pressure puts it up, locks it, so you can't take this off anyways. So just let it chill out. We got her done. So there was a little bit of siphoning out of the jars, and I'm not quite sure why. I had the right amount of headspace. I measured it. We pressure canned them for the right amount of time, so I'm going to have to look into that. It may be these garden harvest jars or whatever. That's possible. I'm not quite sure. I'm going to look into it, but here we go. Finished product. So, more jars for the pantry. So get her done, guys. Get your stuff done. Get your groceries. Go to the farmers markets. Buy your vegetables. There's little farm stores all over the place. I know all around my city you get pretty much everything you want there. So, get them done. Hope you guys liked the video. And there's going to be lots more coming. We're going to be doing rainbow pickled carrots later on this week. And I'm going to make all different kinds. I'm going to have all different kinds of seasonings in a whole bunch of jars. So that one's going to be fun. So have an awesome day. Smash that subscribe and notification bell. Give me a big thumbs up. Leave me a comment. And I'll talk to you after. See ya.